Hello, welcome to yoga. My name is Nicola. This will be an all levels class. It's usually my typical style. There isn't a particular theme to today's class. It's going to follow kind of a curve. We'll begin on the floor. We'll work into a little more challenging postures, some balance, some strengthening, a little bit of a flow, and then end up back on the mat, laying down, getting into the hips a little bit. So we'll begin with our centering. So this is your opportunity just to kind of reflect inwards. Just check in with your body, see how you feel. Just be okay with where you showed up on the mat. And just be prepared to listen to your body and give it what it's asking for. So just find a comfortable seat with a long spine. And we'll just begin to slow the breathing. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. I know that's not always possible, so if you need to breathe through the mouth, that's okay. Do what we can. And just soften your belly. And just allow the belly to fully expand with each inhale. And as you exhale, just draw the belly button in towards the spine, using your abdominal muscles to help fully expel that breath. Perhaps you can hear the sound of your own breathing. Maybe you want to add the ujjayi sound by constricting the back of the throat, so that you can hear the breath whispering up and down the throat as you inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, allow belly then rib cage to expand. As you exhale, ribs draw in, belly button pulls in. Perhaps setting an intention for yourself, something you hope to gain from today's practice. You may bring that down to a single word or a short phrase that you can repeat to yourself periodically throughout the practice if you find yourself becoming distracted. On your next inhale, allow belly, ribcage, then collarbones to expand. As you exhale, collarbones fall. Ribs draw in, belly button pulls in. It's like we have three distinct parts to the breath.
It takes a hand to make an egg. There is no end to what I'm saying. It takes a thought to make a word, and it takes some words to make an action. And it takes some work to make it work. It takes some good to make it hurt. It takes some bad for satisfaction.
Let's take one more deep breath. Exhale fully. And then just allow your breath to be natural. Don't overthink it. But just keep in mind as we move through the practice, if you find yourself catching your breath or breathing rapidly, it's probably a signal that you need to back off a little bit. Slow down, take one of the modifications. As long as you can breathe slowly, deeply, evenly, you should be just fine. So we'll begin in child's pose. So come to your mat. I'm just going to lower the music a hair. Just come to your mat. Bring your knees about mat width apart. Toes together. And just settle in here. Bring your chest towards the mat. Arms out in front. Forehead resting on the mat. Now, if your forehead doesn't comfortably rest on the mat, just make a pillow with your fists or stack your hands, or maybe using a yoga block for your forehead. So just however you can get comfortable without holding up that heavy head. And we'll just kind of continue our centering here. So just continue to take your attention inward and just note how you feel. Note any areas where you may need to take special care of today. Areas you may have to modify. Accept that and be okay with it.
Take some silence to make sound. And it takes a loss before you found me. And it takes a road to go nowhere. It takes a toll to make you care. It takes a hole to make a mountain.
Take one more breath here. Exhale. And then just make your way onto hands and knees. Just loosen up the spine a little bit with some cat dog. So make sure your joints are stacked in your arms and knee to hip. And as you inhale, belly lowers, tailbone and chin tip up. As you exhale, really arch the back, tucking in chin and tailbone, looking back towards your knees. Inhale, finding that dog tilt, looking up. Exhale into cat, really stretch out the back, pushing to hands and knees. Just continue moving with the rhythm of your own breath. Take one more inhale breath. Exhale, finding a neutral spine. And just kind of take your weight into your right knee slightly here and extend your right arm forward. And if you want, you can also extend your left leg back, adding a slight balance here for bird dog. Drawing in the belly button, feeling nice and strong here in the core, flexing your foot, pushing through the heel, fingers are spread nice and wide, reaching forward. And then just lower your hand to the mat, lower your foot but keep it stretched out and back. And begin to turn this front leg so that your shin is parallel with the front edge of your mat. Lean onto this arm, make sure the joints are stacked. Reach your left arm nice and high. And you can keep the left leg with the foot touching the floor, or just bring that leg up towards hip height. Again, adding a little core work, a little balance. For a further challenge, you can bend this top leg and then reach back for the foot. If you can grab the foot, and no big deal if you can't, but if you can, you kind of come into like a half bow here by pushing your foot away from you, which will pull your arm back, give you a little arch to the back. Wherever you are, take one more breath. If you do have hold of the foot, release it. Lower that foot, arm up. We'll be coming into a side plank. So you can choose to stay on the knee or just stretch out this bottom leg. For a little further challenge, lift your top leg. Not necessary to do that. Listen to your body. Do what works for you today. This is your practice. If you do have the foot raised, lower it. Come back to a plank and then lower your knees. And then just move through a little cat dog or cat cow. Again, just going with the rhythm of your own breath. return to a neutral spine. So we'll be leaning kind of onto the left leg so we can raise the left arm up, excuse me, and extend that right leg in back with a flexed foot. I'm just going to turn because I don't want to have my back to you for this whole time. So again, foot is flexed, arm reaching forward, head and neck in line with the spine. Take one more breath, then lower your hand to mat. Just lower the leg, but keep it extended out behind you. And again, just turn so that your shin is parallel with your mat. Come onto this left hand, extend the right arm up, stay here. Or lift the top leg. Stay here, or bend that leg, reach for the foot. Finding that half bow, a little bit of a back bend. If you do have hold of that foot, just let it go, bring it back to the mat. Make sure you're reaching your right arm up, and if you want, just bring this lower leg out, finding a side plank. And one more option, to lift the right leg. This is pretty challenging, so if you don't get it, don't beat yourself up. The purpose is not to come into this pose. The purpose is to find your version of the pose. What challenges you a little bit? What works in your body? What do you want in your practice today? And just go ahead and come back to a plank and back onto your hands and knees. And then again, just work a little cat dog, going with the rhythm of your own breath. And pause in neutral. So I want you to sink the heels back, coming into child's pose again. This time I'm going to offer up a spinal twist with the child's pose. So if you want, keep your left hand grounded, turn your right palm up, and thread that hand underneath your left arm, reaching the fingertips out towards the left, bringing head down to mat. Again, if head doesn't reach the mat, just make a fist with your left hand to rest your head. Take one more breath. And then just unthread that arm, stretch it forward. Take a breath here. And then keeping right palm grounded, flip left palm up. And thread those fingertips out towards the right side, coming down onto head and shoulder, or making a pillow with your right fist for your head. Take one more breath. Unhook this arm, reach the arms out in front. Take a breath here. And then come up onto hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. And just begin to lift your hips, coming into downward facing dog. So some key points for downward dog. The legs can be generously bent. You do not have to straighten the legs. If hamstrings are tight, please keep your legs bent. What you want is to push your heels in the general direction of the mat. It does not matter if they make it all the way down. Push into the palms of your hands so that your chest moves back towards your thighs. And think about tipping your tailbone up a little bit. Sometimes it's easier to bend the knees, tip the tailbone, and then straighten your legs to your own degree. And because we do want to support the spine, take your attention to the shoulder blades. Kind of draw them down your back and then wrap them forward. It's actually going to move your armpits in a little bit towards one another. That will just help support your spine in this posture. Feel free to come up onto the toes. Walk the dog by pushing one heel then the other down into the mat. Or maybe play with a little three-legged dog, lifting one leg for breath, bringing that down and switching legs. Just play around for another 1 or 2 more breaths. And then we'll walk the feet forward towards the front of the mat, landing in a forward fold. So if you're not comfortable with head below heart, or if you have a medical reason why you should not be folded this far forward, then come to a flat back for jackknife. Again, knees at least should be soft, if not bent. You never really want to lock out the knees. Draw shoulders away from ears by pulling your shoulder blades back. Crown of the head is pointing forward. If you're in a forward fold, we'll try to work on stretching the back of the legs a little bit more. So make your peace fingers by bringing your first 2 fingers together and wrapping them around your big toes. And then close that circle by pressing your thumb on top of the 2 fingers. Again, generous bend in the legs, belly resting on thighs. Elbows are pointing out to the side, palms facing one another. And then you can just begin to straighten your legs a little bit whilst pulling on your toes here to pull yourself down into this forward fold, Padangusthasana, or big toe pose. Take 1 more breath. Then go ahead and release your toes. Sink your hips down and reach your arms up here, coming into Utkatasana or chair pose. So we will be here for a few breaths. We'll be working into a twist. So just take a breath here. Take 1 more inhale. Bringing hands to heart. On your exhale, twist to the left, bringing right elbow to the outside of left knee, pushing palms together to work into that twist. As we hold for about 3 breaths, try to lengthen your spine with each inhale and rinse it out by twisting a little bit more with each exhale. Take 1 more breath. Twist a little more. As you inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, bring hands to heart, twist over to the other side. Inhale, spine is long. Exhale, twist. Take 1 more breath, inhale. Exhale, twist, we're building heat. Inhale, reach those arms overhead 1 more time. And as you exhale, find a forward fold. And your choice, you can just hold the forward hold here or come back to jackknife, or maybe grab opposite elbows and sway side to side or back and forth in ragdoll. Just let all that tension melt away. Take one more breath. Exhale and inhale. Sweeping arms out and up. Bringing hands to heart. So we'll come into some half sun salutations. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, soften the knees and fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain. Exhale, soften the knees, dive forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's just do one more like that, then we'll add on. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Fold. Inhale to extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Adding on. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, fold. Find your jackknife. Fold. Stepping back, find plank, and we'll pause here. So if you find plank very challenging, just come down onto your knees. Your choice. On your next inhale, if you're in full plank, shift forward. And then as you exhale, everybody just lower down to the mat. And you can choose to hover right here, so not touch the floor, for a breath, or come all the way down. And then inhaling, finding cobra, which will keep your legs and knees down on the mat, or upward facing dog. So you kind of push into the tops of the feet to lift your knees off the mat. Think about pushing your pelvis forward a little bit here to support low back. Take one more inhale. Exhale, find downward dog. And we'll pause here for a breath. Inhale, soften the knees and look forward. Exhale, walk towards the front of your mat. Inhale, jackknife. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll move through two more a little quicker, linking breath to movement. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plank or tabletop. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, soften knees and look forward. Exhale, come to the front of your mat. Inhale, jackknife. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more. I'm not going to talk, I'm just going to lead with the breath. Inhale, soften knees and look forward. Exhale, make your way towards the front of the mat. Inhale, finding extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. So coming straight into some standing postures here. Make sure you're towards the front of your mat, keeping your right foot up top. Take a large step back with your left foot, but make sure you can set the heel down. Hips face forward. Inhale, arms reach up. We are in Warrior One or Virabhadrasana One. Just make sure this front knee doesn't protrude beyond your toes. You kind of want a right angle here. You want to avoid this kind of thing. You always want to protect the knee joints. Inhale. Exhale, opening up to warrior two. Shifting your feet around just a little bit here, your back toes facing the long edge of your mat. Again, sink into this front leg. Try to get those right angles here. This is going to be a lot of work for the leg, but it's going to strengthen it. Flipping front palm, inhale, reach back, finding peaceful warrior. Exhale, flow to extended side angle. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, come out to that extended side angle. One more time, inhale. Exhale, come to extended side angle. We'll try to hold here. So you can keep your elbow on your thigh or maybe reach down to the floor. If you would like to try the bind, you're going to have to sink your hips kind of down as low as they can go so you can reach this arm underneath. Take your top arm behind you and try to grab your fingertips. If you are doing the bind, avoid collapsing forward here. You want to try and bring this left shoulder back. Take one more breath. Find your way back to that extended side angle. And then we'll come to runner's lunge. So taking your hands either side of your front foot, sink in to the front leg. Back leg is extended long. Make sure spine is long. You're looking forward. And we'll add a twist here. So placing left hand to the inside of the right foot. Just open up your right arm and facing the right side. So adding a little twist here. Take one more breath, and on your next exhale, bring your hand back down. Step your back foot in just a little bit. Straighten that front leg, coming into runner's lunge. So just make sure you have a little width between your feet, that you're not standing on a balance beam here, because that will be very unstable. You can keep your fingertips down, or maybe you prefer to come up, keeping the front knee bent, resting on your thigh. Or perhaps you can just round the spine, bringing nose toward knee. So find your version of the stretch. You should feel a pretty good stretch down the back of both legs. For me, I do feel it more in the front leg. And just try to even up your hips by bringing this left hip forward, right hip back. Take one more breath. Then we're going to actually stay low and walk your hands into the center, facing both sets of toes forward. Coming into a wide angle stretch. Again, you can have torso parallel to the ground, hands on thighs, knees soft, or you can reach down, or maybe even soften the spine forward, bringing head down towards the mat. So again, finding your version of this stretch. If you want, you can grab onto the backs of your legs and pull yourself a little deeper into this stretch. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, just walk yourself to face the other end of your mat here. Bend your front knee and set your back heel down. We're coming into warrior one. So you're going to work your way up here, reaching up. If this isn't comfortable in your shoulders, you can just keep hands to heart, Anjali Mudra or prayer pose. Hips facing front. Spread your fingers wide. Sink into that front leg a little bit more. Pull your belly button in. Take one more inhale. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Hips are now open to the left side. Right side. You're looking out towards this left hand. I do teach mirror image in case that's starting to confuse you. Sometimes it confuses me too. Flip your front palm. Inhale, finding peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reaching back, finding that side bend. Exhale, extended side angle. So everything from the waist down here is stable. Once more to extended side angle. We'll pause here. So you pick elbow on thigh, or sinking the hips a little deeper to reach down towards the mat, or maybe trying the bind. Take one more breath. Find your extended side angle if you moved away from it. And then turn to face that left foot, sinking into your front leg for a runner's lunge. Spine is straight and long here. Right hand to inside of left foot. And find your twist here. So you should be facing your left leg, opening to the left. On your next exhale, bring your palm back to mat, step back foot in a little bit again. Make sure you're on train tracks, not a balance beam. And find your version of standing runner. Enjoying the stretch in your hamstrings. Find that edge where you feel a stretch, but you're still comfortable. Balance between effort and ease, comfort and discomfort. You never want to push it too far, but as you hold a stretch or a posture, you probably will find that your edge changes just a little bit and you can get a little deeper. Use your breath as a tool here to help work deeper into the postures. Think about sending your breath to any areas of deep sensation. Exhale. Again, just walk your hands to the center so toes are facing forward, and find one more forward fold. If you like, you can create a bind by interlacing fingers behind your back. And just bringing knuckles away from your back here. Take one more inhale breath. Exhale. If you do have the bind, just release your arms and then just come till you're parallel with the floor. Place your hands on your thighs or at your hips, and then slowly work your way up, and then bring your feet together. So we'll be working with a little balance here. We're going to do dancer pose and then just add a little on the end. For dancer, the best way to modify if you're very challenged with balance is to go near a wall and face the wall and place your fingertips on a wall. So maybe I can show you over here. You will put your fingertips on the wall, you're facing the wall, and you lean into the wall as you come into the pose, keeping your hand on the wall. So, whether you're in front of a wall with hand on the wall, or you're just on your mat, let's balance on the right leg. And just bring this left leg up behind you, grab your foot. If you can, grab it from the instep. Inhale. If you're not leaning your hand on the wall, reach this right arm up. And you can feel free to stay here. Already this is pretty challenging. Or just kind of press your foot into your hand here, kind of pulling your arm away from you. And then begin to tip at the hip. a little or a lot. Remember, you can have your hand against the wall here. This will help a lot. If you're not holding onto a wall, stable focal point, tight core. One more breath. As we come out of this, let go of the foot, but try to maintain the balance. Bring your leg out in front, bent at the knee. We're in a knee balance. On your next inhale, extend the leg long. Exhale, lower the foot, lower the arms. Give your legs a shake, and we'll try that on the other side. Ooh. So again, standing on your mat nice and tall. Coming into this left leg, send roots down so you feel nice and stable. Bring this right foot behind you and try to grab from the inside. Hand can be against the wall for stability, or reach your hand up. Kick that foot away from you just a little bit, stretching out your arm. Inhale, and as you exhale, begin to tip at the hip. One more breath here. Slowly make your way back up. Try not to touch down. If you have to, no big deal. Find that knee balance. On your next inhale, extend the leg long. Exhale, lower the foot, lower the arms. So we'll be coming into a squat. So if you're not going to squat low, take your feet nice and wide and just squat until your thighs are almost parallel with the mat. Lean forward, get your elbows on your thighs, and you can just kind of play around here. Or maybe you're more comfortable here, that's fine. If you do want to squat a little bit deeper, you're actually going to bring your legs a little closer together and come down into a squat. And you want to try to keep your heels on the mat. So a yoga block can really help you here too, because you can actually use it to sit on to help keep your heels down. Just kind of work on the posture. So if you are in this full squat, I want you to push your elbows against your thighs. Open your thighs, push the palms together. Your back, your spine is long. We'll try to hold here for a few breaths. If anyone wants to try the arm balance of crow from here, be my guest. Just be aware that if you're not stable and you tip forward, you can hurt your face. So if you know that you're a little challenged, try it with cushions piled up in front of you. So the way you get into crow is your elbows are kind of resting against the inside of your thighs. Just lean forward here till you have a lot of weight in your hands, but keep your feet down on the mat. Draw up your belly button into your spine, arch your back like we did with cat. Take a little more weight into the hands, and then just play with lifting one foot and then the other foot. This is how we practice. Once you get a little more confident, you can lift both feet. But if it is one of the first times you're trying it, I definitely would recommend cushions in front of you, because I did see someone break their nose once, which was not fun. That's not what we want from yoga. So just take a couple more breaths, whether you're trying the arm balance, whether you're in a high squat, low squat. And then from here, since we're practically sitting down anyway, find a seat, extend your legs out long. Just roll your shoulders back, drawing shoulder blades together, shoulders away from the ears, hands kind of gently resting. Feet are flexed. If you need to bend your knees, go ahead and bend your knees. This is Dandasana or staff pose. There is some core work going on here to keep the spine nice and straight. And from here we'll be working into a forward fold. So again, if your hamstrings are tight, bend your knees. You pick. Take an inhale breath, and as you exhale, just lean forward, maintaining the integrity of the spine here. I want your spine nice and long. Once we get into the pose correctly, then we can take it a little further if we need to. So keep your hands here, or begin to reach them forward. Maybe you reach for your feet. That's not necessarily the goal of the posture. If you can reach them, go ahead and grab them. Just make sure feet are flexed, spine is long. Inhale, maybe inch yourself a little further. If legs are bent and belly's resting on thigh as we hold the posture, just edge your heels a little further away from you every couple breaths. If legs are straight, spine is straight, and you feel like you can give a little more, inhale. And as you exhale, just allow the spine to round, bringing head towards knees. Find that edge and then breathe into the areas of deep sensation. Take one more breath. And then just begin to roll on up, finding a nice long spine. Keep your right leg long, draw left knee in. You can choose to keep your foot on the inside of your thigh or cross it over to the outside. Inhale, spine is nice and tall. And as you exhale, just begin to twist towards the left side. You can hug the knee or maybe bring your elbow to the outside of the knee for a seated spinal twist. And as we hold the twist, as you inhale, just get a little taller. And as you exhale, just twist a fraction more. Take one more breath. Twist a little more. And then as you inhale, just release, extend your left leg long. Draw your right knee in. Choose whether you're keeping the foot the inside or the outside of your thigh. Sit nice and tall on an inhale, and as you exhale, begin your twist. You can use this right hand behind you as a prop to keep your spine nice and tall. Sit a little taller with the inhale, twist a little more with each exhale. Take one more breath. Really twist that spine, wring it out. Inhale, make your way back to center. Just make sure you're somewhere towards the center of your mat. Take an inhale breath, and as you exhale, take your time. Just kind of slowly roll down until you're laying on your mat. And just bring your legs up here, finding hip stand or legs against the wall pose. Now if you do practice half shoulder stand and you want to come into that, you're just going to lift up your hips, support yourself behind your hips. and you're in half shoulder stand. So either way, let's begin to point and flex the feet, circle the ankles, maybe bend and straighten the knees. So if you are in half shoulder stand, you have the option for plow. So you would just begin to lower your legs so the tops of the feet come towards the floor behind you. If you're in hip stand, you can get the same stretch by interlacing your fingers. Hands behind head, flex feet, take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, just draw head and neck up off the mat. Feeling a stretch in the back of the neck, a compression to the front of the neck. Wherever you are, if you're in plow, just lower your hips. If you're in hip stand, just lower your head and neck back down to the mat. Bend your knees. And just see if you can grab your insteps of your feet, your shins, or maybe just rest your arms on the back of your thighs, interlace your fingers, coming into happy baby. Draw those knees towards the armpits. And just try to bring your tailbone down towards the floor. And just letting go of your feet. Just bring your feet on the floor. Just wherever they comfortably land. We'll move into the hips a little bit more. Keeping right foot grounded. Cross your left ankle. Bring it just below your right knee. Contract your abs so your low back pushes into mat, and then take your left hand and kind of ease that left knee away. And if you're feeling a good stretch here, then feel free to stay here. If you want a little more, pick up your right foot and begin to draw the right knee in. You're going to feel a sensation in this left hip. And maybe take your left hand underneath your left thigh and just kind of grab your right leg either just below the knee or behind the thigh. And use your interlaced fingers to kind of draw that right knee in a little further. You'll feel that stretch intensify. This is a very good stretch for the hip and for the low back. Breathing into that area of deep sensation, encouraging it to relax, release a little more. Take one more breath. And then just let go of your knee. Let your right foot come towards the mat. Just cross your left leg over the right. Shift your hips a little bit towards the left, and then allow your knees to drop across and down to the right side. So just pay attention to the low back here. If low back is really talking to you, keep your knee and hip at the same level, or maybe even back off a little more than that. If you have flexibility in the low back, just press on your knee gently, easing it a little closer to the floor. And if it's okay in your neck, you can turn your head and look out towards this left hand just to complete the twist along the whole length of the spine. Take one more breath. Exhale. And then just gently roll onto your back, uncross your legs. Level off the hips. And perhaps just take some time here to allow the knees to fall gently from side to side. Releasing the low back. And then bringing the legs to stillness, keeping left foot grounded. Let's bring your right ankle just below the left knee. Contract your abs, so you're pushing low back into mat. Taking right hand, just ease that right knee a little further away. And then from here, if you want a little more, just pick up your left foot, bringing left knee in towards you, feeling that stretch in the right hip intensify. Perhaps threading this right hand underneath your shin, interlacing fingers just below left knee, or grabbing behind the thigh. And just ease that knee in a little closer to you, feeling that bullseye sensation in the right hip. Take one more breath. Exhale. And then lower your left foot to the floor. Cross your right knee over the left. Shift your hips a couple inches to the right. And then let these knees come over, across and down to the left side. Again, arms to shoulder height. Gaze can be out towards your right hand. And just pay attention to low back. Maybe keeping knee and hip at the same level, or perhaps using your left hand to ease your knee a little closer to the floor. Take one more breath. And then slowly roll onto your back, uncross your legs. And again, perhaps just allow your knees to gently fall from side to side, or perhaps just gather your knees in towards your chest and rock gently from side to side. So we'll be coming into Shavasana from here. Just find a comfortable position, maybe extending the legs long, arms by your side, palms up. And just let arms and legs roll out to the side. Perhaps taking a moment to just gently rock your head from side to side. Just find a comfortable place to rest your head. If low back is talking to you, just bend your knees and bring your feet flat on the floor and just allow your knees to kind of fall in and support one another. Or perhaps you're more comfortable laying on one side. So just either way, make yourself comfortable. Just do a quick mental scan of your body and see where you may still be holding on to some tension. Just try to release it, let it go. Just pay attention to where you feel the support of the floor beneath you. Take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, just relax, release, fully surrender into the support of the earth. Just let your breath be natural. Just try to keep the mind quiet. Thoughts will enter, just let them pass. Perhaps returning to that intention that you set for yourself at the beginning of class. I'm just focusing on the sound of your own soft breathing. Begin to make some small movements, bringing your attention back to the present moment. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes or rotating wrists and ankles. And then perhaps rolling onto one side and taking a few breaths there. Taking your time whenever you're ready, Just make your way to a seated position. If eyes are closed, just open them. We'll take an inhale breath. Grab all that positive energy and draw it down to your heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.
Hate is a poison, love is a remedy.